The Mystery of History, Volume 1, Creation to the Resurrection, continued, Lesson 9. Do you guys say hello to your cousins?
Hello. Hello, Kelly and Bert. Here's my stars. Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah, and don't forget about Jack and Ethan.
Oh, hello, Jack and... not hello. Hi, Jack and Ethan.
And James.
And James.
Okay.
I love James a lot.
The Epic of Gilgamesh, 2000 BC. Remember the Sumerians who had invented cuneiform writings? They were so advanced in their Guinevere, quiet. They were so advanced in Guinevere, then you can sit on the floor. Then stop. They were so advanced in their language skills that they even had libraries in schools. But what did people who lived so long ago put in their libraries? Were books written about gardening, animals, marriage, or the stars? Did they write fiction stories or just read for fun? Believe it or not, we have a record of one of the oldest books ever written other than the Bible. It comes from the Sumerians in 2000 BC. It was later copied by the Babylonians. The author of this book, which is called the Epic of Gilgamesh, wrote about things he had heard from other generations. An epic is a long poem written about something factual or fictional in the past. I think you'll find it fascinating to learn the contents of this poem. And here's a picture of it. In 1853, archaeologists uncovered from the ruins of Nineveh a cuneiform version of the Epic of Gilgamesh. This replica page from the 11th tablet of the epic describes the meeting of Gilgamesh and Utanapishtim. That's an interesting name.
What does Pishtim?
That's someone's name. Can you imagine if Mommy had named you Utanapishtim? And instead of calling you Guinevere, we would say, Utanapishtim, come here every time we wanted you? No.
You just call me Picture.
I would just call you Picture?
Yeah.
All right. The story centers about a legendary hero named Gilgamesh, a king of Uruk, who falls asleep under a tree and wakes up to a snake who has robbed him of eternal life. Gilgamesh searches for eternal life for the sake of his dear friend Enkidu, but doesn't find it. Does that story sound somewhat familiar? Guys, Edward Gwynn, I asked a question. Does the story about the snake in a garden sound familiar? Yeah, it sounds like Adam and Eve, doesn't it?
No.
It should somewhat remind you of the story of Adam and Eve, where they were deceived by the serpent in the Garden of Eden. Another part of the story tells us of a man named Utnapishtim, who was told by a god to build a great ship. Now I need to read this. Epic. It was covered with pitch inside and out. Utnapishtim loaded his family and animals on the boat when it rained for 6 days and nights. After some time, Utnapishtim sent out a dove, a swallow, and a raven. The last bird didn't come back because it found enough meat to live on. Utnapishtim gave an offering to the gods and was made into a god himself with his wife. Now this story should really sound familiar. Its similarity to the Noah and the Ark is incredible. The author of the Epic of Gilgamesh may have heard the stories after they had been passed down for hundreds of years by mouth. That could explain the differences between this poem and the Genesis account of creation and the Great Flood. Just to clarify, Christians believe that God, our Creator, inspired Moses to compile the books of Genesis. Because God was the true author, I believe his version of the story of the flood to be the accurate one. The Epic of Gilgamesh, on the other hand, was originally written by a man or woman. From what I know of mankind, people make mistakes sometimes, so I will stick with believing the creation of the Great Flood stories from the Bible. What about you?
Yes.
All right, that is your history lesson for today. If you want to, which you kind of need more students to do that, you could play, Winry, you could play telephone to show how things can change.
Which kind of telephone?
We need more people to play telephone. Maybe when Daddy's home over the weekend or something, we can try it with him, but we need more than 3 people to be able to play that game.
How do you play What? Can you show me that again?
It's a game where you whisper something to somebody, and then they turn and they whisper it to somebody else, and they turn and they whisper it to somebody else, and the person at the end has to say what was said, but usually it's changed. Okay, can you guys say goodbye?
Goodbye. No. Bye.
Goodbye. You gonna say goodbye?
Can I have some donuts?
No, I haven't picked up donuts. I said I would have to go get them when I get the milk, which I'm not doing until Winry's in bed. And all right, that is it.
Raining.